everyone. I welcome all of you in this physics classes. This session is for class 10. In this chapter already we have studied the important topics: electric current, potential difference, Ohm's law, and the very important what is resistance and on how many factors the resistance of a conductor depends. Today we are going to start the topic resistivity. Resistivity is also known as the specific resistance of a substance, and the resistivity of any substance we can define after deriving its formula. So let us see what is the formula for it, and then after I'll tell you what is the definition of resistivity. As far as we know, the resistance of a conductor depends on 4 factors, but here we will take these 2 factors as we have studied earlier. We have studied that resistance of a conductor is directly proportional to the length. Basically, in my previous video, I have told you that resistance of a conductor depends on 4 factors. Correct now? Resistance depends on its length. Resistance of a conductor depends on the cross section of area of cross section or the thickness of the wire. Resistance also depends on temperature, as well as resistance also depends on material of conductor. Here, starting these 2 relations I am going to take here to derive the formula for the resistivity, that resistance is directly proportional to the length and resistance is inversely proportional to the area. If I combine these 2 relations, then I can also write this R proportional to L upon A. Correct now? As we all know, this sign of proportionality, if I remove, there will be a constant. So R is equals to rho. Here what is the constant? This rho is a constant. Here rho is a constant, and this constant is only known as resistivity of a substance. If I calculate the formula for this rho, that becomes rho is equals to R into A upon L, it will come. Rho is equals to R into A upon L. Now the question is, from this formula, how can I get the definition? See, if I consider area of cross section is equals to 1 meter square and length of a conductor is 1 meter. If I put the value here 1 and 1, can I write rho is equals to R? Okay. Now from here only I define it. Resistivity of a substance is numerically equal to its resistance if its length is 1 meter and area is 1 meter square. Again I repeat, resistivity of a substance is numerically equal to the resistance if its length is 1 meter and area is 1 meter square. We can also define it, resistivity is numerically equal to a resistance of a wire whose length is 1 meter and area of cross section is 1 meter square. So this is the formula of resistivity, and from this formula, if I consider A and L unit, then we can see here rho is numerically equal to R, and hence we define resistivity. On the basis of this formula, if I tell you what is the SI unit of resistivity, can I write resistance SI unit is rho? The very basic method to find out the unit is only to take the formula, put the individual units, and easily you can get the unit of the desired physical quantity. Resistance R in terms of ohm we can calculate, area that means meter square, and length that should be in meters. So meter and meter square is cancelled, and the SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. The SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Okay, the very important topic, resistivity, which is also known as the specific resistance of a wire. If we consider that a wire whose length is L, area is A, then from these 2 relations I have considered that R is equals to rho into L upon A, where what is rho? Rho is a constant which is also known as resistivity of a substance. So from this formula I have written the formula of resistivity. Rho is equals to R into A upon L, And here, if I consider area is 1 meter square, length is 1 meter, then rho equals to r, and hence we defined it. The question may arise in your mind, why only we have considered this area 1 and length 1? Why not we consider resistance 1 and we define the resistivity in terms of area and length? Every formula explain itself. Now, if you are intelligent, you can tell me, by seeing this formula, rho is equals to r into A upon L. You may think that resistivity of a substance is directly proportional to area and inversely proportional to the length. But here, if I can say r is equals to rho into L upon A, what I have taught you that resistance is directly proportional to the length and resistance is inversely proportional to the area. It means, if I see this formula, can I say that resistivity is inversely proportional to the length and directly proportional to the area? No, it is completely wrong. And what is note point here? Note point is, resistivity of a substance never depends on its length as well as its thickness. So resistivity does not depend on the length of the conductor as well as area of cross section of the conductor or thickness of the conductor. Resistivity only depends on temperature and the material of the conductor. That means, if I say aluminium and the copper, then aluminium and the copper, these are the two different materials, so they will have their different resistivity. But if I say 1 meter length of copper and 20 meter length of copper, both are copper only, length is different, so both the resistivity will be same. Remember that. Resistivity of a substance does not depend on the length as well as its thickness. It doesn't matter on size. It matters only on the temperature and the material of the conductor. Okay. Now the next topic. Combination of resistances. We have studied properly what the resistance is, and we have studied that resistance depends on 4 factors. But now, in the complex circuits, in the complex electrical circuits, sometime we need to increase the resistance as well as sometime we need to decrease also. Like wherever according to the requirement of the electric current, we are increasing and decreasing the value of resistance. The question is that how we can increase as well as decrease the value of resistance without any disturbance in the circuit. For that only there is a concept of combination of resistances. We can add the resistance into the circuit in 2 different manners, so that the combined resistance of the circuit will increase or will decrease. Okay, so let's see how many these methods are. These 2 methods are either in series and in parallel. Children, the very important topic, when we solve the numericals, then there are plenty of numericals which are based on these 2 topics. Whenever the resistance are combined in series and the resistance combined in parallel. If you solve the complex circuit diagrams of series and parallel combination of resistances, then you need to find out what is the formula of combination. And here only I will teach you the formula of combination in series as well as in parallel. And then after this chapter, when end of this chapter will come, then end of this chapter we will solve so many numericals which are only based on the formula of series combination as well as in the parallel combination. As I have told you in the starting that Ohm's law is the heart of this chapter, so we cannot also forget this topic of the chapter, which is the combination of resistance. From the numerical point of view, this topic is very, very important. Note that. Without understanding these 2 topics, we cannot solve the numericals of this chapter. Okay, so let us start with this combination of resistances. two resistances can be combined in only two methods. Either they can be combined in series or it can be combined in parallel. Now, if I tell you what is this? This is the symbolic representation of resistance. We have studied some of the symbols, no, for the electrical circuit diagram. So this is the symbol of resistance. If I want to connect two or more than two resistances in such a way that the combined resistance value is maximum we should get, the combined resistance value maximum we want, then we must connect the two or more than two resistances in series only. For example, suppose I have a circuit, I have a resistance value in a circuit 5 ohm, and now I want to increase the value of this resistance, so I must connect the appropriate value of resistance in series. In series. Series combination means end-to-end connection. Here I have three resistances, R1, R2 and R3, and we can see here I have connected 1, 2 and 3 resistances in series. That means when the resistances are connected end to end consecutively, then they are said to be connected in series. They are said to be connected in series like this. Now the question is how I come to know the formula. What is the formula of combined resistance when they are connected in series? So for that, I have taken three resistances. This is a cell, that means supply, whose voltage is V volt, that is switch. Here I have connected three resistances in series in a circuit. If this is the positive terminal, we all know what is the direction of electric current? From positive to the negative. If the current flowing through the circuit is I, what current it is? I. Then this is the circuit diagram through which we can derive the formula for the combined resistance connected in series. Before I derive the formula, let me tell you, here if I derive, the answer will come R is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Since here I have only connected three resistances, that's why the formula will be R1 plus R2 plus R3. If there are four, then this formula becomes R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4. That means what conclusion I get here? The combined resistance or the equivalent resistance of all the resistances connected in series is only the algebraic sum of individual resistance. That means if I have 5 resistances and we want to calculate the equivalent resistance of that circuit, we must add all 5 resistances. That is the basic formula of combination of resistances in series form. Now here we are going to derive the formula. Okay, let's see. Look at the circuit diagram. Here I have connected 3 resistances R1, R2 and R3 in series. Not only these 3 resistances I have connected, but along with these 3 resistances I have also connected a supply as well as a switch. If this supply, that means a cell whose voltage is V volt, we can see the current will pass through this cell and through these 3 resistances and will come back to this point. And if I consider the current flowing through this conductor is I. What current is flowing through the conductor? Through the resistance is I. We all know that if I connect the number of resistances in series, then the total voltage across the individual resistance will split up. That will split up. For example, suppose if I have 10 volt, so this 10 volt will divide in 3 parts. It may be 5 plus 3 plus 2. It may be 4 plus 3 plus, okay, like this. It depends on the value of the resistance, but this value of voltage will split in three parts. So if this value of voltage will split in three parts, that means this total voltage will be the algebraic sum of V1, V2 and V3. But this voltage only splits in three parts, no? V1, V2 and V3. So if I add these three, you will get total voltage here. Okay. Now recall the Ohm's law. V is equals to IR. So in place of V, what I can write here? IR equals to, in place of V1, IR1, in place of V2, IR2, in place of V3, IR3. You can ask me, sir, why only IR1? Why not I1R1? Why not I2R2? Why not I3R3? Because the value of current never change during the series combination of resistance. Whatever be the total current we get from the supply, that total current will pass through the individual resistance connected in the circuit. That means the current I only will pass through R1, I only will pass R2, and I only will pass R3. That means there is no change in current. That's why I have not written I1, R2, I3. Here only I, and I. Now IR equals to, if I take common I, here it becomes R1 plus R2 plus R3. Value of I and I can be cancelled from both the sides. So here R equals to R1 plus R2 and plus R3. Now remember what formula I have told you. The combined resistance or the equivalent resistance in the series combination will be the algebraic sum of individual resistances connected in the circuit. So this is only the example for 3 resistances. We can also take this for 4 resistance, for 5, for 2, for many more. Okay. That means if I write this formula for the equivalent resistance for all the resistances connected in series, suppose we have n resistances, so I can write this formula for n resistances, R1 plus R2 plus R3 and so on, Rn. Okay, if we have n resistances, then we can combine the formula, we can connect the formula, we can write the formula for n resistances by the algebraic sum of individual resistances. One more thing, if all these resistances may be the same value, R, and R ohm, then tell me what it will come. Yes or not? Till n times. So if we write this formula for n resistance, Rs here represents the combined resistance in series. So Rs is equals to NR, where what is N? N is the number of resistances connected in series whose values are same. Such type of resistances are also known as identical resistances. So if anyone asks you what is the formula for the identical resistances connected in series, we can simply say that it is R is equals to N times of R. What is N? N is the number of resistance. For example, if there are 10 resistances of 5 ohm each are connected in series, then what is the combined value? I told you if there are 10 resistances and the value of each resistance is 5 ohm, then can you tell me what is the combined value of series resistance? NR, that means 10 into 5, that means 50 ohm. Yes or no? Okay? So this is the formula for the series combination of resistances. How I derive this formula? We have taken a circuit diagram for 3 resistance. You can also derive it for 2, for 5 or for many more. I have derived for 3 resistances here. For that we have taken R1, R2 and R3. This resistance, combination of these 3 resistances I have connected to the supply of V volt along with the switch. Through this cell, if I calculate the current, that is current I we considered here, this current will pass through as it is this through resistances R1, R2 and R3 without any change, while the voltage across individual resistance will split up, that means V1, V2 and V3. And if the total voltage will split up, we can write this also, V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. In place of V, I recall the Ohm's law, which is IR, IR1, IR2 and IR3. I took common I, which is cancelled, and we got the relation for 3 resistances. Similarly, the relationship can also be written for the n resistances connected in series. This is the relation, and for the identical resistance also we can write directly n into R, where n is the number of resistances and R is the value of each resistance. Don't worry. One thing I'll teach you in my next video. Why only voltmeter is connected always parallel in the circuit, while ammeter always connected series in the circuit. This question I'm also giving to all of you, that you go and search. Whenever we want to calculate the current in the circuit, always we are using an ammeter, and where we connect the ammeter, always in series with the load or resistance. For example, if I draw a circuit diagram here, when you experimentally verify the Ohm's law, then only you will come to know. Here I have taken a resistance. This is the correct way of connection of voltmeter as well as ammeter. Okay. My question is that whenever we want to calculate the value of voltage across any resistance, what is the voltage? We are using a voltmeter. So we are connecting here voltmeter in parallel. That is the correct way. If I connect this voltmeter in series, we cannot get the correct reading. Similarly, if I want to calculate current across this resistance, we must connect an ammeter in series with this circuit. Remember that. And this is only question for you. Question that you find out why only this ammeter is connected in series, why only this ammeter is connected in series with the circuit, and why only the voltage is connected in parallel with the circuit, to find out the exact value. This is today's question you find out. In my next video, I will tell you the parallel combination of resistances, which is used to decrease the value of resistance, combined resistance in the circuit, as well as I'll also tell you this reason why only ammeter is connected in series and why only voltmeter is connected in parallel. I'm waiting for your answers, children. Go and find out the answers why only ammeter is connected in series and voltmeter is connected in parallel. For today it is sufficient. In my next video, I will teach you the parallel combination and some other topics. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much.